Here we have Calamus muelleri. It's actually a climbing palm from the rattan family that's so common throughout Southeast Asia, and forms all those, what you get the cane for the cane baskets from. This one, our local one, is called lawyer cane or wait a while. If you get stuck in it, you're going to be stuck in it for a while. That's the whole wait a while bit, and the whole, I'm sorry to all you lawyers out there, but basically the thing being, it's a lawyer cane. If it gets its spines into you, you'll be stuck with it for a while again. As you can see, I've got one draped, hooked onto my chest here. These incredible tendrils that can be well over a metre long that it's using to climb. It's got spines on the stem. It's got hooks underneath the leaves. It's a very well-armed plant. And as I said, it is, as you can see when we look at the leaf, we're looking at a palm leaf. And these guys are using all of this to climb up, wind up through the forest, and work their way up to the top. Not quite the top, again, probably high mid-story that they're climbing up to. But this is one of the things that makes, luckily, it quite hard to walk undisturbed through the forest, because these guys are going to grab you. So don't get off the track. This is going to be what hooks you. You don't want that on your face or your arms or anything like that. It will rip you to pieces. It's noted as being a horrific thing for the early settlers on their horses even. The horses getting hooked by this stuff are very impenetrable. It can get stuck on your skin quite easily. In our recent survey of Mary Cairncross, this is the stuff that really slowed us down walking around in the understory. That's making it sound pretty bad, all that prickles, but it's just bad for us. The forest itself quite likes it. Yellow-throated scrub wrens, you'll notice nesting above the tracks where it's hanging from, because all those prickles make it quite hard for the carpet snake to wind up through there and get the young birds. So there are a lot of benefits to all those prickles for protecting a lot of animals and protecting themselves. So the First Nation name for this plant is Ginny, and the traditional owners of this country are the Ginniburra, the people of the Ginny, the lawyer cane. So this is a very significant plant to First Nations and traditional owners of this country. So Ginny, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly, is the traditional name for this plant that runs through this country. Now, if you are lucky enough to come across the fruit of these guys, they're about 10 to 15 mil across. They can be hung in like a loose bunch of grapes, and they're scaly. They look like little reptile scales on these fruit. There's a very thin layer of edible flesh, certainly for birds. I'm not necessarily going to encourage you to eat them, but this group of plants that they belong to, there's some very edible plants in Southeast Asia, salac palms and things like that. They have this scaly outside and this thin layer of edible flesh around the seed. So keep your eye out for the seeds. Orangey yellow, and present in about the mid-story, hanging in the vine.